It's about the environment that they want to work with. It's about work-life balance. It is about being part of a community and interacting not only with their colleagues in the same office building, but also with other employees in the same building as well. So for us, it has become a very important, a top strategic priority to create this sense of community within all our buildings. And technology and innovation is the key part, the key tool through which we believe we can achieve this strategic aim. Now we have a lot of ideas and initiatives that we work on this particular area. I don't want to take time, of course, to discuss all of them. Just one very, very small example. Last July, in our Global Wealth District project in Gara Herastrau Boulevard, very close from where we are here today, we launched an initiative that aims to promote the young generation of Romanian artists through emerging technologies and gather our community to be part of the same process. And this has resulted in 2 amazing art exhibitions where employees interact with the works based on augmented reality, virtual reality, video mapping, and oversized installations. Through this initiative, what we managed to achieve is to repurpose our office buildings into unconventional workspaces that host and promote art as well as technology. Some of you, when you were waiting outside, might have got a glimpse of this initiative. And for those of you who have not, I warmly invite you to experience that after the end of this event. Now, going forward, as I mentioned before, we have a lot of ideas and initiatives that we want to implement in the technology and innovation area. At the core of these initiatives is the development and the launch of a global wealth application that gradually will become the central focus and the core of all the employees around our portfolio, both here in Romania as well as in Poland, the core for them to interact, exchange information, and basically take care of a lot of their basic daily tasks and functions. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to make it this short, so I would like to introduce Mr. Mircea Joanna and the panel for a very interesting discussion going forward. Thank you.
First of all, we apologize. It's my fault and the Romanian officials' fault for this horrendous delay. If we have taken the Chinese offer some 15 years ago to do some infrastructure in Bucharest, probably would have been better off, but I think we're about to fix that. We had an incredible busy schedule and we met some top officials from the National Bank and from the government. We apologize. I apologize on behalf of my colleagues and myself for this delay. But thank you all for coming. Thank you, Global Worth. One of the newest and most dynamic members of the Aspen Institute Romania. We appreciate your support and your sophistication in bringing all of us together. I also like to thank Georgiana and the Global Worth team that were pushing hard together with Vlad and the Aspen team. But let me tell you, because we are already a little bit catching breath with this delay, to tell you why we are here and why I'm so exceptionally interested in the conversation which is about to take place. Because Ionuț Bazak helped us in bringing to Romania 2 exceptionally interesting leaders. And I think this combination between Chairman He and Chairman Peter Liu is probably an expression on how the world is changing, how China and technology are approaching these global transformations. And this is something that we asked, sometimes to his discomfort, for Radu Georgescu from GECAD to basically help us integrate the conversation. Radu was kind enough to help us with this conversation. He's actually, Peter, he's fundraising for his venture capital fund. So you have some cash left. Radu is the place to invest into. I bet for him. And I'll start with Peter Liu, because he's a pioneer in global technology business. He is still based in Silicon Valley. He also has global operations in China and beyond. He was the person who started the initial funding for Alibaba, for Lenovo, and for a number of global projects. And probably today he's one of the most sophisticated, well-known, and influential leaders in technology and the financial world. And I'm not exaggerating a bit from what I'm saying. Peter comes from the first time to Romania, and I hope he will be leaving after this conversation and the meetings we'll have today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow with also some practical investment initiatives and put Romania and the huge talent of this country to work. He's a great friend, and we thank you, Peter, for taking the time and being with us. He's an exceptional leader, and I think all of us will be benefiting from this introduction today. Chairman He has a sort of a dual hat. On the one side, he's the co-chairman of the Bank of Asia Financial Group, which is a relatively recently financial institution based in Hong Kong and in other places around the world. It has a massive global interest for investment. He will probably say a few words down the presentation, but they also have a number of specialized investment vehicles, an energy fund, a technology fund, and a tourist fund. And if you know the size of the Chinese economy and the Chinese and global players, in these funds, they're also American venture capitalist investing. Is not a Chinese government operation, it's a business operation. And that's why we are very happy to have Chairman He here, because he represents, as a co-chairman, one of the most interesting and dynamic and global investment vehicles and financial groups. And hopefully, like Peter, they will make up their minds and choose Romania as one of the springboards for a more global network. Also, Chairman He has the other hat, which is interesting as well. He's the chairman of the working committee in China on robotics. So he's basically leading from a political and institutional side, not only the financial global dimension, but also the fantastic rise and global ambition of China to catch up and be a global leader in technology, and robotics is also his mantra, and he's running directly also on the political level this operation. So that's a great group of people. We thought that for the Aspen Institute, and I thank Florin Pogonaru, our board member and our vice president. Also, I like to thank all the other friends, Sorin Mândruțescu from Oracle, Adrian Ciurtin, all the other friends. One of the best lawyers in Romania, Ion Dan Cazacu, is also here, a good friend. If he's here, it means that he smells business. He has a fantastic nose for business, so if he's here, it means that we are about to do something. Sorry for the advertising, and many other friends from our, let's say, ecosystem. Thank you all for coming. I now let Radu take over the hostilities, and hopefully at the end of the conversation, with some presentation and a Q&A session, we'll get what the Aspen Institute Technology and Society program is all about. Bring diverse people from the ecosystem and try to identify the problems of today and the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. Thank you for being in Romania. Bucharest is privileged to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mircea, and thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me. I'm privileged to try to do this. I don't know where really to start, but I'm going to start, kindly asking you, Peter. Technology changed a lot in our lives, and it changed really the way the capital is moving. So it changed the way people invest. So coming from PE, from real estate, from the good old, Warren Buffett kind of investments, into this kind of Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, investing in Uber and so on. So where is this going in the near future?
Maybe I probably have to stand up better. Sitting here, feel a little bit uneasy. First of all, thank you for inviting me, Chairman Milko, and my dear friend, Minister, Bozak. This is my first trip. I call it a fact-finding trip. So don't know Romania that well, other than I had the best friend. I made a lot of friends that we met socially. I was born in Beijing, grown up in Taiwan, went to school in Berkeley. Okay, I was the first venture capitalist started, launched this U.S. concept, venture capital, to Taiwan. As you all know, Taiwan is the island starting in the mid-'80s. They started semiconductor, everything, IT, and PC era. I was there as a young kid, okay, not knowing anything other than just saying, well, technology booming coming in. And to answer your question, I was first mover, was a greenfield. Look at Romania right now, today, you have a lot of talents, which I will comment a little later on. Anyway, I was in Taiwan in 1985 with a government support. It's a very, very long time. And we were there, we made a 65 investment, just PC that time, related, technology. And my trophy project was a company using PC computer called Creative Lab, Sound Blaster. Okay, at the time, you all know the code, Sound Blaster. And the founder asked, nobody knows. The first time you hear multimedia, well, Sound Blaster was just our investment manager saw it was a toy company, seriously. And anyway, we made an investment from Sound Blaster that built up the whole franchise, our name. It was become the trophy project for Singapore government. The reason I say that Romania needs to have a lot of trophy projects too, but this one in particular was because it's the right timing, right technology, right space at time. So Hank Paulson was a banker for Goldman Sachs in Chicago. He architected, he said, this will be the first technology company to be listed at the NASDAQ in the early 1992. It became a huge success. Then this company, when you make a venture capital investment, you have one good company and you roll it out with it. So this company, the technology, fantastic. Then they developed MP3. From MP3, they developed the map, iTunes, iPod. Was funded, idea was coming from Creative Lab. Then they went to see Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs now passed away, I can see. When I write my book, Steve Jobs is a copycat. So he saw this, wow, wonderful. iTunes, iPod was coming from Creative Lab. But he recruited one of our top guys. That's how it become Apple today. So when you go through this, we call it cyclical, you go up and down, you have good nose, okay? And so we started e-commerce. I was the first mover in 1996. Oracle, our friends here, I met Safar Cass. He came over. She's from Romania, by the way. Yes. So she told me she wanted to do an IPO for one of our companies called Commerce One. As you know, Commerce One was the first B2B company I funded by the former founder chairman of Sybase. During that time in the Valley, only two persons was Larry Ellison and Mark Hoffman. So Mark Hoffman gets squeezed out. He started the Commerce One. I went there. I said, Mark, what happened with this new concept, B2B? He says it's just an old database, adding some cosmetic to it. I said, okay. I put the first $1 million, he went out, hired 20 engineers. Within 5 years' time, they went straight up to $36 billion valuation with 6,000 headcounts. When you've gone through this huge growth, from the PC to the internet, when internet bubble coming up and down, you learn. But the reason I related this is that in 1998, our team went to Shanghai, met a small company called Alibaba, Jack Ma was just started. He was selling Yellow Page. He had no clue, no idea. He saw this commerce one, he said, this is brilliant. He started jumping in there. He raised the fund. Took him 4 years, cannot ramp up. Because if you don't know Commerce One B2B space, we spent $6 billion, very capital intensive, to create a global trading platform. Okay. So this is very dangerous if you don't know, very high risk. And so Jack Ma spent 4 years, but after 4 years, he found a niche. He targeted our big trading platform globally. He found a niche inside the SME, small medium enterprise. And he came over with a conference, like this gathering. He met Jerry Yang, the founder of Yahoo. It's improved version of the original B2B. That's how he got his first $1 billion. So it went straight up. Okay. And Mirko talking about Lenovo. In 1994, I met in Lenovo. The chairman Liu, his younger sister, married to my cousin. Well, you say they keep everything within the family, right? So I've been brought to meet up the chairman Liu's father. I call him Uncle Liu in Hong Kong. They were on the verge going to be delisted. Everything went wrong. That's why I brought team support. Anyway, long story short, I helped them strategize, develop strategic planning, and they did acquisition, as you know, in Germany called Medion. This Medion company, and they never acquired for $1.2 billion. After that, it became, the IT player. Now they're in trouble because it slowed down the space. The reason I mention all this is not saying how great we are, okay? We made a lot of investment. Was each time when you look at the investment climate, okay, you have to look at the political climate, you look at the climate, then you look at the capital formation. From my point of view, I was first mover in Taiwan. In 1992, I went back to China. I started all the China venture capital practice. Many students are doing fantastic job, better than we do. But we kept a very, very small size because easy to manage. Today, if you're doing private equity, biofund, they're all doing great. But the downside is that the cash-to-cash return is less than 30%. Okay, if you look at the financial return. So, having said all this, the reason I'm coming here in Romania is that throughout the years in the Valley, I always heard the Romanian talents because all our investing company has a somehow engineer in Bucharest I heard for the last 30 years. Never get a chance to it until I met Mr. Bozak. He's like my teacher. Really, I learned a lot of him. He's very persistent. He said, Peter, you had to come to Romania. I said, anyway, like anything else, the timing. If you look at the PC era to the mobile, to the internet bubble, after internet bubble, you have mobile internet, then you got IoT, you got big data, you got AI, we will talk about AI later, and now blockchain. All the young talents I met in the last few years, all related with Romania. A lot of young talents. And so I'm quite impressed. I'm very fortunate and honored and special privilege invited by Mirko. Actually, we met 3 years ago. He said, you had to come. Aspen Institute in the state invited me so many years. I never been there. But I did. I'm a member of Davos, World Economic Forum. In 2005, I brought Summer Davos to China. And it was a great organization. I also the first member at the Monte Carlo Yacht Club. I have no yacht, but they need help with China. That's where I did. But it's really, really a pleasure to be here to share with you. I am not smarter than you, okay? I can learn from you, but I was very lucky at the right time. A lot of times you can see you have the best technology. It's always the right timing and the right team. And unfortunately, our investment model is to add value because we're in the early stage startup. if you cannot add value in early stage, low cost in capital, that's our forte. We do very well. And I'm glad to have this opportunity coming to Romania to learn this culture. Anything we can share, I can, but the slide is not there yet, okay? So I just finished, then I stop. Okay, there's any time? I get very exciting. I did not sleep well because I fly 20 hours from Beijing via, Frankfurt to here, and but I get very excited, to meet all of you. And again, I will just highlight some of the things we're doing. The updated artificial intelligence, roadmap, the current. By the way, I like to share this story with you. Last night I was sitting with a student from Mexico. He sat right next to me. I already told you. He says, I'm first time coming to Bucharest. I said, me too. I said, why you come to Romania? He says, Romania is the best choice. I said, why? Because my classmates last year, 4 of them, they all vote #1 in Romania. I said, I come also for the first time, but I had the best friend also voted me to come to here. So it was wonderful to be here. I like the people, I like the culture. I saw the city, and I really enjoyed the first day visit, okay? So if you have any question later on, I'd be more than happy to share, okay?
Which one? Tell us which one?
Which one?
Which one of the presentation you sent us for?
PMC first, and then...
First one?
Yeah, you go then...
PMC is the first one?
Yeah, then the...
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to share with you also, in Davos, McKinsey did a strategic planning for next 10 years. In the first one is technology. We can have a good coverage. Second is talking about lifestyle and media are changing. So fortunately we invest in this media company called PMC. I just wanted to highlight, to show you, we invested 10 years ago in Hollywood, a company called Variety. Okay, Variety, because the time Variety was old model, we changed to digitize. We were the first one make digital movement, digital marketing, digital advertising. So one thing is we successfully, every quarter we're making profit. Then we have the chances acquire WWD. As you know, Romania is a love fashion. So that's the best women's wear, media we own. Then we bought Rob Report. It's luxury goods. A year ago, we also bought the Rolling Stone, the 4. So just highlight something, for you. This is could you? Yeah, this is you push where? Here. So this is just to give you a highlight, okay, something we do, okay. We're wearing luxury goods, we're in the fancy cars, racing, watches, experience events. This is what we do because this is the future, changing. And after this weekend, I'm going to Riyadh because the Prince Simon investing our group. He's our shareholder and board member in here. So he will be the first. Saudi will be our partner in GCC country with all this. I think it's. This is a little bit, how about the other? Sorry, this is prepared in the last 24 hours since I landed here, because, next. Yes. There's a variety, okay. Variety is a Hollywood, we do all the media coverage for like Oscar Award, Cannes Film Festival. This is the most, wonderful, media. So you want to meet a celebrity, you let us know. Okay. We have 2 board seats. We're very proud to be with this organization. Our CEO is Jay Penske, and we have a 2 team on the EV F1 car racing. Okay, it's done by him. This is all our events. You can see that, we do many. It's all this entertainment data. You can see 90% renewal rate. Okay. This is WWD. As you know, we're on 475 Fifth Avenue in New York. You ever go to New York, let me know. We can make arrangement. This, we have 100,000 square foot, 25,000 each floor, 4th floor. And this has become a new model, okay? It's like a short video, so the designer is not just showing clothes, they can do a short video. This is a whole new concept model. Because of time, I cannot go through. I'm not running, I serve on the board. But our team did a wonderful job, okay? It's not in Europe yet. We're ranking #1 right now with Variety, WWD. This is a fantastic company, okay? You can see we do all the show, online, you can see all this. It's all digitized, all the, digital movement. All the guys, celebrities. We did like for LVMH, with Arnaud, the front page, the whole, huge audience and huge influence. Okay, this is a fire try, just to give you, talking about, sorry, I just maybe took too much time, but I will finish soon. We bought from Fairchild. Fairchild spent, as you know, in U.S., Fairchild publication spent $850 million to create the spread. 850. We bought for $40 million, 5 cents to $1. Okay, today it was lots of money. Okay, but we turn around and the right timing. You can see all this. We did many summits. We also 3. It's other than WWD, also menswear and footwear news. This is 3 major, fashion brand. The footwear news. Okay. This is also fantastic. Okay, you can see all the shoe. We have the #1, coverage in here. It's a fantastic events, summit and events. Okay. I hope so far, I hope you enjoy this. This is just normally, now this is my company, okay? We did this October 18th. It's our San Francisco. You ever come to San Francisco, please visit us. I collect wine in Napa Valley, beautiful wine. But I drink a lot Romanian wine, also equally better, from Minister Bozak. He's my dear friend. He always taking good care of me. But anyway, thank you. Let me share the China artificial intelligence, because I had to control the timing. Otherwise, I think everybody's so hungry now. Mr. Ho may be hungry. This is to show you that the potential. Okay, I will not go in there. You can see the PwC the GDP reached 38 trillion. Okay, by 2013. This is from AI, right? It can wave artificial intelligence. This is all from first wave, second wave, third wave, the fourth wave. Look, all this fully auto. I just highlighted one thing. In 2011, we saw a little company. That's how the fourth Stanford graduate started the software autonomous, this software design. We really like this for kids. Before you even want to make investment, Google bought it. That's why Google cut the software. So being in Silicon Valley, you have access to the center. Okay. The reason I say this, I saw Romania There's a lot of young talent. Can you do the bridge model? I started the bridge model from Silicon Valley to Taiwan, then Silicon Valley to China. Now, Mr. Ho, this morning we talked to the central bank, maybe from here to Hong Kong. There's a lot of, called the bridge model. Okay, this is what we have done. First wave, you can massive, all the internet data. Okay, this is I will not go through this, commercial data. Basically, it's a data-driven model. If today you look at what fintech means, it's very confused, vague name. Financial technology, you're dealing with a central banker, they will not do any change. They're 2 years behind. But underneath it's all data-driven. Data-driven outsourcing model. This is what is happening right now. You can see the AI with business. I will not go. We initiated called InsurTech, okay? And the InsurTech with AI is changing the whole world right now as we speak. And the real world right now, the new data, everything is driving you. I will not go through this. First, with the fully automate. This is going to change our lifestyle. We're talking about media lifestyle. I'll give you one example. One of our advisors is the CTO of TI, Texas Instrument. Okay, you know how many chips they ship? They ship 41 billion chips, sensor chip. Okay, this is the very, this year probably 45 billion. The two major leading firms is one you call ARMS, the other called NVIDIA, okay? Why? Because the next wave with the blockchain behind is the technology, okay? You cannot just in blockchain, the payment, the concept, exchange, you need the technology behind it. So this is just, okay? Then OMO, this is in China, called online mergers with offline. This is China is doing that right now, doing very fast, okay? I will not go into the details. This is all the TI things. This is all the turning award receiving in AI, okay? Who the players, okay? This is what you need to know, okay? Like who's who in here, okay? This is all the Chinese. We have working with a lot of those people. So this is a very, very important, okay? This is a 2006 to 2015, look, citation. Research-driven to application-driven. Experts king, but data, so data-driven. China is a huge data. We have about 10 companies in this area, all doing very well because the market-driven. So capital, we're talking about capital, should be all focused, investing in this. This is the Chinese government make AI a top priority, okay? And we'll boost the new technology. You can see US today versus in 5 years. A little data, I will not go into this. Thank you.
No, thank you. That was really great. Would you mind taking questions from the audience? I mean, I think that would be really great if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to start myself. So that's your chance. So one question that I have. So you presented nicely, the U.S. versus China, and that's great, and it's in everybody's mind what this kind of battle, technological investment battle between the two big guys in the world. Where is Europe in this battle? Where do you see Europe?
Europe, I think, has tremendous potential. The only if you look at from economic growth side, Europe has a great talent. Like for instance, in France, has the best engineer in the telecom industry. They're very, very creative. Versus the Chinese or the Japanese. So there, I think in EU as a whole, it's just how you bridge in this, okay? Because there's a culture issue. French, for instance, I know I did the first Sino-French fund in 1994, of course, called Sophie Nova, okay? it's a culture thing. The French mentality is such, they're very proud. Okay. And the Chinese are saying, well, we're doing better deal return. So when we did the fund at the end, you know who's right? Because you need to also look at it from the investment aspect of it, is the taxation issue too. Okay, when we did it in Asia, for instance, you need a pioneer status. I told the governor of central bank this morning, in order for Romania, I don't know the Romanian program, you need to incentivize the entrepreneur. Okay, incentivize all the institutions to giving them what we call the pioneer status. When you have pioneer status, this thing take off. And I've seen that in Asia from Taiwan, Singapore, China, Japan, Korea. So that's how I think a lot of small technology companies, especially like Israel, for instance. Israel was doing excellent job in the early days, listing company at NASDAQ. But Israel cannot do anything with China because IP issue. So it's a bit long discussion, but it's a business model with a culture, political climate, many things. So, but that's my comment.
Okay, so Europe as a bridge between the two big guys. That's a good thing to have. I mean that's in the books. You're saying.
Look, yeah. For instance, in Italy, the best fashion industry have e-commerce. Yep. They went to China. They don't trust Chinese. Chinese don't trust Chinese. Think Italian always change. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the Italians think Chinese not trustworthy. They're going to copy it. So it's a culture thing. Well, we are good at how we structure. So, for instance, you can have the best IP outside of China, mm-hmm. but you can create China JV. If the JV doing better, you can then consolidate. So it's a I believe, I think I like the country like Romania. I'm not biased because my good friends in here, right? For instance, Romania, you have all the young talents. But can they structure? You need a government support. I know my friend, the minister, they all have done this. But you have to do it more structured, okay? And we can share that experience. So you do a bridge. You bridge the young talent there. But a lot of people, we talk about this country, they would love to come to Romania. You can use Romania as a sort of entry point to Europe. Mm-hmm. Versus you go to, like for instance, Sophia Antipolis in southern France. But the French people enjoy life. They don't work that hard. No, this has been happened, okay? I've been invited by the Senator Pierre Lafitte, the founder, twice there. That's how I make comments, but they're creative. And I think Romanian culture I learned is from my portfolio company. They all love the Romanian engineer. Okay? Other than low cost, you're a young talent, you can be another Jack Ma. Okay? But how are you going to identify, how you structure it? I think that's was my view. Okay, of course, I had to learn. This is like I say, my first trip in here. Hope be many trips in the future. But I think can be easily mobilized. How you mobilize this talent, mobilize the technology.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And thanks so much for this. And I'm going to slightly change the tracks here. And so I've read in your presentation over your own site, so saying that you're seeing things ahead the curve. So I just want to take the opportunity and ask you, kindly, what's going to happen? And I mean, what's the next big thing? And I know that's a stupid question. I mean, what's the next big thing?
Well, you asked me. I will answer. I will disclose non-disclosed information. We could keep in here because Aspen Institute is very well known, and my friend, Melko is in here. I can share with you the future is all blockchain. Okay.
Is it?
About all blockchain. You can say that China blocking the RTO, the currency, the token, all blockchain. Okay.
Why?
Because it's a trend. Okay. Even for instance, if you look at AI, right, artificial intelligence, right, you'll see what artificial intelligence is a lot of verticals. Mm-hmm. You're adding a lot of application, right? Why the blockchain is really coming up is that when the fintech coming in, right, a few years back, people were talking about fintech. But what fintech did? for the financial institution.
It kind of changed things and get things out of the
But very vague, by the way. Okay, so that's why when we started this, we have a AI company doing the insurance. Okay, it's fascinating, but everything had to ship to. Maybe I can put it this way, right? You can see all the central bank printing a lot of cash, right? Later on, it will become faked.
Okay.
But use the left hand. The center is all gold and silver in the Switzerland. This is the right-hand side is a cryptocurrency. Eventually going to happen. Not even, well, of course, people talking about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is something, we can talk. 10 years ago, they started in our office in San Francisco. We did not, because a lot of speculative, a lot of technology is the timing too early, but I think eventually going to happen. That's personal. You ask me, what's the next big thing? And this is going to change in the whole global, thing. Tying with, even with the, talking about the fashion, the lifestyle, all going to involve with the blockchain. Just to share with you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. Chairman He, if I may, kind of.
Sorry, I took the time.
No.
He doesn't speak English, so need a little translation.
Yeah. So if you can share with us, what's coming from China, because there's so many things coming from there. I mean, all the technology and a lot of things. So China started quite a few years ago as a copycat thing, but now China is leading in technology and innovation. So where is this coming from?
首先我这个非常仓促，这巴这个部长安排，我也不知道有这个来讲，就没有准备材料。
Sorry about that. We didn't prepare some for example PPT or some documents to share with you.
您问这个问题其实很简单，中国需要发展，中国人民需要幸福，所以就不断创新，去搞技术。
Why China need to develop our technicals and make the innovation? Because it's very easy to answer this question. Is that for the Chinese people, we need to get the better life, and we need a good environment, and we want to the good products. So we need to improve our technical skills. Yeah, that's it.
So this change happened over years. I mean, over 10, 20, 30 last years. Because my interest is that Romania is trying to get through the same path. I mean, from outsourcing, so to say, into product and so on. And I'm trying to understand and to learn from the China experience on how they did it.
Yes. 中国的发展，按我这个年龄，从穷日子到今天，我都经历过了。他给我讲。
Mr. Ho is saying he has experienced the growth of the China economic growth, so he has gone through right from the beginning until now, so all different phases. You're going to share?
我是第一次来罗马尼亚，这个来到罗马尼亚的感觉跟整个环境跟30年前经济环境的中国是差不多一样的。
This is his first visit in Romania. He feel his first view and personal feeling about this economic, or just a couple of days in here, is like China maybe 20 years ago.
这个今天的主题是科技创新与孵化器。我觉得这个罗马尼亚这个在科技方面和创新方面，这个非常有基础。我举个例子， 我们中国的国家主席江泽民当年就在罗马尼亚留学工作。我们国家继邓小平之后，中国的科技创新和改革进步，与江泽民有直接关系，做出巨大的贡献。同时，江泽民对罗马尼亚有深厚的感情，这个他背诵的诗歌能很完整。更重要的是，江泽民当年在这里工作，搞的就是科技工作，所以我来到这里边，看到了罗马尼亚很多年轻人，他的教育质量也是非常好的，所以我相信罗马尼亚能做得更好。同时，我作为BOA 的来访问罗马尼亚，那么我在这里上午见了你们国家银行的主要负责人，我准备把罗马尼亚的一些情况写个报告，给香港政府，因为我们 BOA 的运营总部在香港，同时我们也有个科技基金，非常愿意跟罗马尼亚来合作。
His first visit to Romania, very impressive, by the way. And the former leader of Jiang Zemin was educated in Romania. So he felt that Romania provided lots of young talent, basic education, and good technology foundation here. So a lot of Chinese actually under the Jiang's regime was actually follow up Jiang's studying here, adopt in the early days, okay, that leading into the success of China development in the technology innovation side. He believed Romania has a very sound, innovation program, the young talents. So how he's going to write a special report to the SR, government in Hong Kong to develop maybe a good exchange program. So the bank, actually Bank of Asia, can provide a lot of funding technology. He met the governor of central bank this morning. We were talking about how the central bank can support this initiative. It has to come out from the government. I don't know the political side. I heard it very complicated. The left side, right side, the center, just like any other country. So the issue is how can you incentivize, motivate the young entrepreneur, the people like yourself, and the business leader can participate, this type of program. It's very difficult because after Mr. Ho basically emphasized that he was very impressed. I'm too. Not because our good friend here trying to impress them, but they've been tell us to come here. I think is how you develop a sound program, exchange program between Romania and China. It can be Greater China, with Hong Kong in there, with Taiwan, with Beijing, Shanghai. It's huge opportunity. But like anything else, he's saying you're going to write a special report and to the government, and that can leading into some new initiative between Romania and China. Not China, Hong Kong. China right now is anti-corruption, so very complicated. So we stay out of trouble, and stay the initiative in Hong Kong is much easier. So anyway, back to you.
No, thanks so much. Look, I think we're kind of towards the end of the time. So if there is any further question from the hall, please.
Thank you. You spoke about the future of technology being the blockchain. Right now, all over the world, the blockchain is facing a lot of regulatory hardships or headwinds. What do you think, in your opinion, is the best way for the private sector to push forward this technology in order for the public authorities to embrace it faster and support it more?
Good question, difficult to answer. But anyway, if you look at the roadmap, right, like anything else, the cryptocurrency, or you call it blockchain, right? It started from Bitcoin, right? And then Bitcoin, you can see this. There's no discipline. It's like we call shooting from the hips. A lot of young guy, college dropout, high school, they all made it billions. But it's like a speculation, okay? But moving forward, to answer your question, there, for instance, all the genius I know, okay, the founding, all from Canada, okay? There's a group of talents, and the other group in Europe, in here, like Ukraine, it's information. You have a lot of young talent, all kind of new idea. But with the banking industry, when you deal with the regulator in a central bank, everything slow down because they cannot change. For instance, China, they stop this, they make it, but eventually it's going to happen. So you need to be persistent, create this platform, create this exchange. Eventually, going to bring a good, commercial return. I personally think that because it just matters of the timing. Maybe right now, I think from here or in the next 5 years to 10 years, you'll see the changes. Okay, it's going to happen. Okay. It's not just me. You can look at it like for Jimmy Dimon of J.P. Morgan, right? He's the one saying he against this thing. You all read about news, but actually behind it, they're all making the move. Okay, it just to me, I know other than the blockchain, you have a security. This is the key. I was with the CEO, my dear friend, my neighbor in the United States, John Chen, who runs BlackBerry. I was with him. BlackBerry has 44,000 IPs, patents. What's the next issue? So in blockchain. And you'll be, because this is one of the reasons I can disclose, the next new initiative is 5G plus blockchain. It's a global alliance because you need an algorithm, okay? So you think about 5G plus blockchain alliance, then that's going to break through. Hope answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so since no further question, Mr. John, if you want to.
Thank you for this brilliant conversation and also for the interesting idea for Romania to be a sort of a gateway. Speaking of McKinsey and consulting firms, together with our institute, we've been trying to convince our decision makers and also investors from all over the world to better use our geography and our talent. But my question would be, because we tried for the last 15, 20 years with the previous Chinese president, reciting Eminescu better than I do in Romanian, we seem to be unable to put the full potential of Romania to work. And we try to work from the top down. Presidents, prime ministers, ministers, all sorts of high-level people, but nothing happened. So my question is, if we will be trying to do something a little bit of bottom-up, which will be the immediate prerequisites for, let's say, Hong Kong or Taiwan or China or anybody else in Europe to choose Romania? So instead of top-down, could we use a bottom-up, which would be the minimum requirements for your investment decisions to choose Romania and not another competitor of ours in the region?
Well, that's a very good question because I have shared my experience with Minister Bozak, right? He's a very pro, very dedicated to this. We talk about how you strategize, right? In the past, all the hierarchies coming here with the political, exchange view. You have Air China used to fly here and now stop. They might reactivate, next year. So I think the good approach is like you say, top down, but you need the bottom up too. Bottom up, for instance, if I see Romania has a lot of good entrepreneurs, okay, I met a lot of them. How you can group them? How you can group them with the right structure, right? For instance, you can do this, we call the bridge model, right? You bridge the best technology, they need a market there. The Chinese want to have a market in Europe using Romania as the entry country. This can happen easily, okay? Because I know the top successful entrepreneur is not the funding, not money. It's a strategic movement, the enter the market, plus I just say the three, the lifestyle, the media, the distribution. Now with the three categories, we're talking about lifestyle, the media, also the distribution. One of the key areas of distribution, like autonomous, car, everything changing. That could be a good, perfect timing to build up this, like the gap. Okay, it's be a gap. Okay, difficult because, for instance, if I come to Romania, my experience, I get no direct flight, right? So that's between China and Romania. I told municipals that actually a couple of years ago, we talked in Monaco, we say, you need a direct flight. When you have a flight coming here, that solves all the other problems. Okay, and the end, for instance, I know that I helped China create the 3G standard in 1996. I did not highlight this. We licensed IP to Datang Telco. And so Chinese 3G standard called TDS, CDS made through our IP, but nobody knows because we're a US technology company, we license, okay? And they were lucky, in 1998, ITU approved 3 standard. It was Nokia, Qualcomm, and China. Now from 3G now rolled up to 5G. Okay, the 5G opportunity, the 5G plus blockchain. Okay, that's a roadmap in the future. So, thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. So, I guess we're kind of towards the end of the meeting. I know everybody's having a long day going forward. Thank you so much for your being here and for your advice and everything. Thank you, Chairman He. Thank you guys for joining us. And there we go. Thank you.